everybody, Shawn here. Welcome to my studio. I've got another stomp box to show you. This is another one by Pettyjohn Electronics, and it's called the Lift pedal. Basically, it's designed to be an always-on type of pedal. It's got two discrete op amps in it. One is for a buffer, and it also gives you a variable input to that circuit, and then the other op amp is for the boost side. And I think it'll give you up to 32 dB of boost, which is pretty substantial. It's got, the EQ section is really cool. It's got a high and low cut filter that can be assigned to either be always on or only turn on the boost, when the boost part of the pedal is on. Super musical studio grade EQ. Those assignments are set via toggle switches for the high and low on the pedal. It's got a dual rail as the other two Foundry Series pedals. So basically, if you hit that pedal with 9 volts, it's going to double it to 18. All the way up to, if you hit the pedal with 18 volts, it's going to double it all the way up to 36. So these are just really open, great sounding pedals. As always, switches on top, which is really convenient. Pedal boards love that. True bypass normally in this case, because it's an always on pedal, when the light is dimly lit, that means the buffer side of the pedal is on, and then when you stomp it for the boost, then the light comes on full and lets you know that you're in boost mode. So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at this Pettyjohn Lift pedal. Okay guys, let's check out this Lift pedal by Pettyjohn Electronics. I'm going to use my Sir Classic Pro Stratocaster into my divided by 13 FTR 37. Now, as I mentioned before, this is an always on buffer, so what you're going to be hearing is the buffer itself. Sounds great. Now the nice thing about this is you can actually increase the amount of buffer by using the input setting. So I'll let you hear that real quick. Now you can certainly run that as hot as you want. The setting I found that I really liked was just slightly up. About right there. Because it added just a little more lows, a little more highs, but still sounded really natural. Now you can crank that up if you've got a really long cable run, or maybe a super just kind of dead sounding amp that needs some life. You can adjust that to taste. Let's look at how the EQ section works on this. It's a high and low cut filter, and these guys are assignable, so you can have either one of those guys be assigned to on all the time or only on when you use the boost side of the pedal. So real quick, I'm just going to turn them on as on all the time so you can kind of hear what they do. So here's the low side. And here is the highs. So that's backed off. Super musical. I mean, that's the one thing Pettyjohn's really great at, amongst many others, is very musical EQ sections. So that's kind of what that does. I'm actually more apt to assign those to just the boost side. I like it that way because when I turn on the boost, I want to be able to kind of custom tailor top end and low end, as opposed to get something all dialed in on just always on, and then when I turn on the buffer, I've got to change something. So I'm going to run it that way just for demo purposes. I'll go ahead and shut those guys back off so that they're just on the boost side. So we've heard the EQ, we've heard how the buffer sounds, so let's go ahead and try the boost. Now I switched to a humbucker, which is a lot hotter. I didn't want you guys to think I stabbed the pedal yet. There's the boost. Now, the great thing about it is I can go ahead and custom tailor the low end, like if I wanted more kind of bigness in the low end. Or say it was just too tubby, then I could roll it back without really affecting anything I had dialed on the buffer side of the pedal. And once again, because it's so musical and dials so well, it just, it's going to open up whatever situation you're in, whatever amp you're playing on, whatever guitar you have. It's going to help you match whatever you need. So there's that, and then obviously I can do the highs too, like say I want to blow a solo, but that's a little too bitey, then I can go ahead and cut some highs. Or if I'm doing stuff where I need it to be more stringy and open sounding, because I'm playing chords. You can dial it however you want, so it works really well. So the only other thing to check out is just the amount of boost. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the boost pretty much off. So we'll switch back to just buffer only. And then we'll turn on the boost side. And we'll start rolling it up. Now there's more gain there on tap, but that's quite a bit. It just depends on how you're going to use the pedal. Like for me, I wouldn't necessarily dime it like that because I'd want it as that extra push possibly into another box, or just to have the amp kind of wake up a little bit in the gain side. Because, especially for me on sessions, the last thing I want to hear when the producer says, hey, can you give me a crunch tone, is, did you just turn on a box? It sounds like you just turned on a box. And that's what's really great about circuits like this, is it doesn't sound like you just turned on a stomp box. That sounds ampy. And as I said, you can run a ton more gain, but once again, that's to each his own. But that's pretty much that lift pedal. It's another fabulous product from Pettyjohn. If you've got questions, reach out to those guys. They're really cool about answering questions. And yeah, stay tuned for more demos in the future. Thanks, guys.